Greetings, everybody. I am Lobo, and welcome to Luna. This is episode 222 of my Minecraft survival series, and last episode, we came out here to the approach with the best of intentions, those intentions being to rid this place of the corruption that's been plaguing it by means of, blowing it up. That didn't really work out. It was an ill-conceived idea, admittedly. One that only served to worsen the state of the corruption here in the approach. But, you live, you learn, right? You know what we could have really used? Some guidance. That's what we could have really used. Because the Arcanine Order is knowledgeable about this stuff. And I remember going up to the Enchantry and them just not being available. But they are here now. They're actually up in the boardroom. And I'm late for a meeting with them to discuss, how we're going to handle this corruption for real this time. And hopefully save our city here.
The corruption is alive and self-propagating.
Sorry, I'm late. I know, busy. As you were saying, it's self-propagating.
Meaning it nurtures its own growth? When it was buried, the nutrients it produces had to travel through layers of earth to reach the newly forming appendages. When you unearthed them, the nutrients dispersed into the air and water. The corruption was able to feed freely. Its growth, its expansion, will now be uncontrollable.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I missed this, but did you already, explain how we're going to stop this thing?
Stop it? I doubt we could even slow it down. It will consume this world, Destroyer. All thanks to you.
Yeah! By the way, that's sarcasm.
And as if that weren't enough, the old ones are still out there preparing their ascension, which will have its own catastrophic consequences for this world.
If what the witch says is true, the end of this world is imminent.
Did this thing just call me a witch?
Ah! Hex the robot, revered enchantress!
I would love nothing more, Enchantress Moriga. But if we are to stand any kind of chance against either apocalypse, as much as it pains me to say, we will have to work together.
What? No! I don't wanna! No!
Well, good news. We're not in this alone anymore. It's like I always say. Nothing brings people together like world-ending cataclysmic events. Good times. But since we are welcoming the Arcanine Order into Luna, we need to make an easier way for them to get into Luna, because as of right now, there's no good way over here from Enchantry Island where they reside. Now, Enchantry Island does have docks, it does have a boat, but there's no real way for that boat to travel through the shallows here to get to Luna, because the shallows are actually very shallow. They're only 1 block deep. So what we're probably going to need to do then is deepen our shallows here, get rid of all this land beneath our water, so that way it is actually water that, the boat can pass through. And then we'll focus on building some docks over here by the old Rotunda. The entranceway to the old Rotunda could probably use a bit of work too. So, we got our work cut out for us today, don't we? So let's go ahead and begin by deepening our waters, and that should cut back on these guys, these waiting pillagers. Owie. I need a cow. Y'all see a cow anywhere? Cow acquired. It looks like they've gotten themselves stuck down here, which is pretty unfortunate. Let's go ahead and help them out a little bit. Then we're gonna get around to today's project. We will. We gotta help out where we can. Ow. I was helping you. How dare you? Rude. Y'all done lost your dang minds. Your brain's rotten like the rest of you. Okay, well now that that's settled, we need to get to work, okay? So let's go ahead and call Dee Dee on over here, put on a little bit of music, start deepening these waters. Welcome back, everybody. Our seas have been deepened and we have water. Like lots and lots of water. Tons of water, in fact. But, we're not done here yet. There's still a few more things that need to be done before we can say this side of Luna, the seas on this side have been officially deepened. Because the waters are not safe for travel. They're turbulent. You know, they're flowing downward. They're pulling things to the bottom, and that's just not a good sign. So we need to probably also deal with the mobs down in these caves. Yeah, let me, before we get around to converting our water to source blocks, let me go ahead and just show you guys what's directly beneath some of these areas over here. We have a lot of dark caves that should probably be lit up, right? In fact, I've dropped a lot of blocks down here as well, so there's a good chance we'll have some perpetual mobs down here, which is also very unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. Maybe before we do anything else, I'll just run through here real quick and try to at least take care of some of this. Hi. Bye. Hello. Hello. Okay. Dangerous place down here. Gotta say, not a huge fan. Okay, well, it seems like this is going to be kind of a pain, and unfortunately, I'm not really prepared for caving. We'll do as much as we can. Yeah, see, this guy is perpetually, he's got a block, one of my blocks. A lot of these guys got stuff. I don't like it. You know, I can't help but think, it'd be a shame if we were to return to the surface empty-handed, wouldn't it? I mean, while we are down there, it couldn't hurt to, you know, grab a few things. You know, do a little bit of shopping, right? So maybe I'll go ahead and take care of that as well. We're not going to be down here for too long, though, because I don't have any more torches than what I have in my hotbar. My box of torches is still back on the surface. As I said, wasn't really prepared to do any caving. We'll have to come down here another time and, you know, kind of finish up what we don't get to finish up today. Oh, boy. We got a whole dang ravine down here. Yeah, definitely not prepared for this. As I said, we'll come back. Okay, now the question is, how am I going to find my way back home? Definitely not that way. Aha! Yeah, we only explored a small fraction of this place. I mean, that wasn't what we were supposed to be doing anyway. We were talking about something, and then I got distracted. What are we talking about again? I don't remember. What I do remember, though, is that we have a tradition every time we clear out a significant portion of land, like we did over here in the seas. We still have more seas we need to clear out over there and on the opposite side of Luna, but every time we do clear out a significant portion of land, we go over what we got from that, what resources we got, and what we used up, right? So let's go ahead and review. As far as what we used up goes, well, we went through a pretty good amount of silk touch pickaxes, a couple fortune pickaxes, and some shovels as we were digging through all that mess. And as far as what we got from that, incidental resources, and I'm going to include what we got down there in the cave. We got a pretty decent amount of ores and stuff like that. The one in particular that I'm concerned with is iron. And it looks like we got maybe 7 and some chain stacks of ore, and then some raw iron as well. So not too shabby, you know? We also added to our masses of unorganized chest here. Man, that stuff's really piling up. You know, some of you are probably wondering why I haven't been working on the storage system. Well, that's because, you know, there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening in Luna right now, which is a little bit more important than me cleaning up after myself. Oh, and I remembered what we were talking about now. We were talking about the water not being source blocks and how it is going to need to be converted. That golem is on top of the garden center over there, and I don't know how he got up there. That's very strange. But yeah, I do need to convert this water into source blocks, which means we're going to need a little bit of kelp. So if you'll excuse me just a moment, I'm going to spam this around the entire perimeter of this. I know I don't need as much kelp as I'm putting down, but this is the easiest way to put it down, and to get it back up, well, you just go through here and punch it, so no big deal, right? So we'll just let that grow in for a little bit, see how far it gets us, but as you can see, it's working. We got our deepest section now converted to source block, so this leaf is now hovering and not laying flat on the ground, so that's nice. But now it is time to finally make our way back to the Rotunda, and man, I am happy we're doing this today because, I don't know, this build deserves better than what it's being given. So, we're going to be building the docks around the Rotunda today, and to do that, I'm going to need to get some measurements, which means I'm going to center myself on this main building right here and just kind of mark out this central point down near the base of the structure. Or at least at the level where the docks are going to be, right? So we can use that as reference. Now, we're not going to have the docks pressed straight up against the Rotunda. I do want at least a little bit of land circling this. And yes, I do mean circling because this is a round structure. It would only make sense that the land surrounding it would be round as well. Or anything I build, it's probably going to be round. I don't know how far out we really want to go with this yet. I don't know. Maybe something like that would probably be pretty decent. We'll see. And this will give us a little bit of separation between the Rotunda structure and the docks, and allow us to do a little bit of landscaping, make it a little bit more aesthetically appealing, you know? So we'll see if something like this works. So how is this for a shape then? Let's see. Oh, you know what? I like that. That's kind of nice. And we'll have the docks kind of extending off of it. I think something like that'll be good. I think we're gonna roll with it, right? Yeah. Yes, we are. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of a surface to work on here, and then once we're done with that, well, we can figure out the next steps. We are going to need to relocate our kelp and destroy our frames in the process. Wow. But yeah, this stuff has to be moved because it's going to be located under the surface, and it's kind of impeding my ability to place blocks right now. And just generally being, very, very inconvenient for me. Now, before we get around to building this area up and trying to make it look at least halfway decent, I do want to address this entranceway right here into the Rotunda. Because as of right now, well, it doesn't really work as intended. I mean, if we wanted to get in here, well, I suppose we could get in here, but that's not really what we wanted to do. Did you get stuck again? Again? Oh my goodness, Piggy. This is not a piggy trap. There's no reason for you to get stuck back here all the time. Anyway, this door was a victim of the dimensional shift, which kind of broke my redstone, so yeah, we need to fix it. Now, we built this door way back in the early part of this series, and as a result, this redstone down here is kind of a mess. It's not the beautiful, compact, elegant redstone that I've come to be known for. This is sarcasm, by the way. No, this is even worse than the mess I create these days. So, I think what we're going to do, instead of trying to troubleshoot, we're just going to tear it all out. Start from scratch. I'm over here getting all nostalgic and stuff. That ever happen to you when you go through old stuff? And it's not even my stuff I'm nostalgic about. It's smooth stone slabs. Like, I miss the days where you could just craft these bad boys up, not have to worry about smelting. Man, those were good times. You know how I always say my redstone is, messy and overcomplicated? I can say this, looking at this, my redstone has actually improved, and I can be proud of that, because compared to the overcomplicated mess I make these days, this thing is on a whole nother level. So let's go ahead and simplify things. I started getting in my redstone for the opening and closing mechanisms. Basically, all these buttons just run to a single circuit now. So the interior button on this side and the exterior button on this side just come down here and run to here. The interior button on this side and the exterior button on this side also just come to a single point and run down here to this T flip-flop. And that should simplify things a little bit here as far as opening and closing, because we no longer have to remember which button opens and which one closes, right? We're going to push this button. You can see that would open the door if we consider the light off being open. Push this button, that would close the door. If we push it again, That would open the door and, you know, back and forth, right? Same thing goes for the interior buttons. We push that. The light is on, door is closed. If we were to push this, the light should be off, door is open. If we were to push any other button, then the door would close. So there's no more remembering which is the open button, which is the close button. All the buttons just do the exact same thing. They either open or close the door depending on whether the door actually needs to be opened or closed, which is much better than how we had it. And then as far as the door itself goes, we're bringing some new technology into the mix. We're bringing our honey blocks into this, all of which are going to be pushed or pulled by pistons in order to open and close the door. So right now it's open, but if we push this, you can see the pistons will extend, which will close the door, except for that doesn't look closed because we don't have any blocks sticking onto these yet. So let's go ahead and stick some blocks on here temporarily. Of course, we're not going to be using stone brick for this. We're going to decorate it a little bit, but just so you guys can get an idea, that's a closed door. Where's my button? There's my button. We're going to push the button. That's an open door, right? Same thing applies for the interior. Let's go ahead and dress this up just a tiny bit. Not really dress it up because we're definitely not building this out of stone brick, but you get what I'm saying, right? Just for reference. That's an open door. That is a closed door. So, yeah, a lot simpler than what we were doing with pulling stuff up, down, left, right, you know? And the redstone's a lot simpler, too. We talked about the buttons that open and close the door. They just run, you know, down from wherever the button is to the T flip-flop right here, which sends a signal out to either piston when the door needs to be closed. So once this lights up, that will push those pistons. Once this lights up, that will push those pistons. And that is pretty much all there is to it. So, I mean, it looks much better. It feels much better. I mean, it doesn't look great because it's still my redstone, but, you know, I think this is a big improvement over what we had before. Also, it's going to be much more dependable moving forward. So now let's go ahead and start getting everything put back together. Let me go ahead and dress up the door as it should be. We're going to have... No, that's not going to be a spawning issue. We got light there, so that works out just fine, I think. Yeah, let me go ahead and get this door put together, get the wall around it put back together, and then I'll be right back with you. We like that window there. Kind of liked having the window there before. I think having the window there is kind of nice. Yeah. And I think we are just about ready to go. I didn't leave anything down here, did I? No. All right, let's see what we think of it. Well, you know what? I wanted to make some changes anyway, so let's just pretend that didn't happen. I think something like this is probably going to work a little bit better for me. I do like that. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like with the door closed. Oh yeah, I like that. With the little window right there, being able to see the beacon beam. That's nice, actually. Let's see how it looks from the inside, shall we? Let's go ahead and close it up. We got this little window peeking outward. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. So we got our renovation of the door, our renovation of the rotunda completed just in time to welcome our guests, the Arcanine Order, into Luna. Man, I hope they appreciate this. I extended the floor out just a tiny bit to kind of, you know, help ease the transition as we make our way inside or make our way outside. I also left myself a little way to get down here into the maintenance area in case we ever have to do any maintenance to the redstone, which we shouldn't at this point because it is a fairly simple system. But it's there, and overall I'm feeling pretty good about what we've done here. Dang it! So let's go ahead and shift focus from our newly completed door to our soon-to-be completed docks. Now, as far as the docks go, they're going to be pretty simple. We're just going to kind of, you know, outline this area of land with some docks, and that's going to be that, and just kind of decorate it and hope it looks halfway decent by the time we're done. I didn't really consider what I was going to do to transition this lower area into this upper area, which could be a problem, but, you know, we'll worry about that later. Not today. Today we're focused on the docks. So at this point, let's go ahead and put on a little bit of music. Call Dee Dee over here. Build some docks. Welcome back, everybody. The docks around the Rotunda are now in, and that is looking so much better than it was before. It's nice to see the Rotunda finally getting some stuff happening to it, because it was looking pretty bad there for a while, but that is much improved, I think. The rest of the perimeter of Luna, yeah, that definitely needs some work, but at least this area right here is looking much better than it was previously. As far as for what we got going on underneath the docks over here, well, this is mostly temporary. Like, we're gonna transition into the seafloor once we actually get the seafloor landscaped or aquascaped, whatever we want to say there. So, you know, we'll work on that when the time actually comes. We'll add some stuff to it, kind of ease the transition, make everything look a little bit better. But the main purpose of the docks, of course, is so that we could take our boat from here to the Enchantry, or they could take their boat from the Enchantry to here and, you know, have easy access to Luna. It's about bridging that gap between our two societies, right? And overall, I'm very happy with what we've managed to accomplish here so far. I mean, we still got a long way to go, but, you know, we are taking it one step at a time, which means we're not focusing on, you know, that mess today. That'll be saved for a later date. The stuff we did today had to happen, right? And I am pretty happy with it.
Oh, hi! Yeah, Revered Enchantress Arcana says I'm not allowed to kill you. Even accidentally.
I'm sorry?
Oh, don't worry about it. You know, it's only temporary.
Right. Well, I'm gonna be going now. Enjoy the docks that you apparently don't need because you can just show up anywhere at any time you want. Wonderful. This was all pointless. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They're just gonna be all over Luna now. I'm just gonna turn around and there she is. Great. This is wonderful. What have we done? Well, I think that's where we're going to call it today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.